Europe is covered with a great fire. Almost 500 forest fires have already broken out. Extinguishing is also not easy due to high temperature and heat waves. This is a documentary about it. Greece's capital is facing its hottest July weekend in 50 years, with temperatures forecast to soar above 40 C as the nation and others in southern Europe, such as Italy and Spain, swelter in another record-breaking heat wave. Experts have pointed the finger at climate change driven by the burning of fossil fuels, saying global warming is playing a key role in extreme weather. Already 13 days into its heat wave, Greece's National Weather Institute on Saturday warned reprieve was still days away, setting this up to be the longest hot spell the country has ever seen. According to the data, we will probably go through 16 to 17 days of a heat wave, which has never happened before in our country, Kostas Lagouvardos, Director of Research at the National Observatory, told. The previous heat wave record in Greece was set in 1987 when scorching temperatures higher than 39 C lasted for 11 days. Greece may be more of a focus than Italy for breaking records. Athens, for example, could go up to 42 C on Sunday, which is within shouting distance of the sitting record. Sea temperatures are 2 to 3 degrees above normal, the State Weather Service reported also on Saturday. Millions of people in southern Europe have similarly been suffering through intense heat this summer as the world appears headed for its hottest July on record. Soaring temperatures across Italy are taking a heavy toll on residents as they struggle to stay cool during the heat wave. The World Meteorological Organization said this month that July began with the hottest week on record. The extreme temperatures came after climate change and El Niño, a cyclical weather phenomenon that warms the Pacific Ocean, combined to create the hottest June on record. Europe this week also experienced some of its hottest temperatures so far this summer thanks to a so-called heat dome stretching over its south. Alessandro Miani, president of the Italian Society of Environmental Doctors, warned that the aging populations in Italy and other countries are a concern because heat-related deaths most commonly happen in people older than 80. The excessive heat together with humidity can make it difficult for sweat to evaporate, interfering with the body's ability to regulate its own temperature, Miani said. Other southern European countries like Spain have also been grappling with extreme heat this month. In the Balkans this week, a second storm has left at least 3 people dead in Serbia, according to local reports. The European Center for Medium-Range Weather Forecasts said on Wednesday that an Atlantic Ocean heat wave reported in early July might have also influenced Europe's current hot weather. The Atlantic has seen a rise in temperature across most of its basins, especially in North America and Europe. Ocean heat waves can affect atmospheric circulation patterns and warm the air masses above them. Scientists say climate change, primarily triggered by greenhouse gas emissions mainly from burning fossil fuels, will result in more frequent, severe, and dangerous heat waves. By the time summer officially started in Europe this week, sparkling new Canadairs and other firefighting vehicles had been delivered across European Union countries, and hundreds of firefighters were already pre-positioned to tackle any wildfire that might ignite. According to the European Forest Fire Information System, more than 119,000 hectares had already been reduced to cinders across the EU by the 18th of June, well above the average of 80,000 hectares recorded by that time over the 2003 to 2022 period. The surface burnt in France has already reached over 21,000 hectares, about 3.5 times the average for the past 2 decades. This is dwarfed by the 66,200 hectares Spain has lost so far this year in 324 fires, both numbers having more than quadrupled. A spate of countries in Central and Eastern Europe have also seen numbers jump, albeit from a very low level, but nonetheless confirming a trend observed over the last few years that see wildfires now gradually creeping northward too. Climate change plays a role in the multiplication and intensity of wildfires. Over a quarter of the EU's territory is in warning conditions for drought, with a further 10% on alert, according to the European Drought Observatory, because of serious rainfall and soil moisture deficits. Europe has been warming twice as much as the global average since the 1980s and was, last year, approximately 2.3 degrees Celsius above the pre-industrial 1850 to 1900 average. Since then, the world experienced its warmest May and early June on record, with the global mean temperature actually breaching the 1.5 to the power of 0 C limit in the first week of this month. All this means that across large swaths of the continent, the land is much drier than normal, facilitating the spread of wildfires. But demographic changes also shoulder a lot of the blame. The desertification of rural areas in favor of urban centers means that the land is no longer managed in the same way.